killing me.
Oh, arm day.
Oh, one of the two.
So, so I take these pills. Normally, they're like a special blend of herbs and spices and caffeine or whatever. I link them on my A store if anyone's interested. I really like them. And it's really hard to be motivated when you're out. So usually the wife orders them for me, and whatever she like magically has them. I tell her when I get down to what I think is less than a week, and then I go, hey, I need more things, and she buys them. And she could buy buying anything and replacing them. I wouldn't know. Like I could be taking poison or whatever. But anyway, so this time she tells me I have to order them. And of course, being the master at the internet that I am, somehow I managed to order them in the slowest possible manner known to man. So I have no idea when they're going to arrive. And she's just like, why? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm incompetent at all things. So there you go. So that's what I do. So my gym time this week has been miserable as well, my friend.
Mine hasn't been miserable. Mine's been great.
I don't have any artificial energy. I like that artificial energy thing.
I don't.
Oh, man, I do. I love it. Anyway, this is not a podcast about using drugs to lose weight. Like crack and or heroin. I have actually... Oh, never mind. I was going to say I don't actually know what you do with crack or heroin, and then I pretended to snuff it. I think that's cocaine, right? I don't know.
Yep, that's
what
coke.
You do with the rest of that stuff. Anyway, welcome to this week's episode of Two Trolls and a Brew. I am one of your hosts, Samus. He is your other host, Travis.
Hi.
He is not fun today, folks. We got to get him poked. We got to poke him until he smiles.
Oh, I was Legacy deck.
So now you're no smiles because you're playing Legacy?
No, I was thinking.
Oh, you're actively playing while you're recording?
Yeah. Like I'm just goldfishing to get the math right.
Okay. Anyway, this week's episode 88, top 8, and subtitle, How to Spot a Fake Card. I feel like there's a story in there.
Oh yeah, it's a nice fun one.
Let's start this show off right with troll cards. Travis has Padim, Console of Innovation. And I have Indomitable Creativity. Who wants to go first?
So, you.
Me? Done.
Yep.
So I played Indomitable Creativity this last weekend at the PBTQ.
Okay.
Round 1, game 1. I was playing like some sort of like teamer good stuff kind of deck. And my opponent and I were like in this awkward racing position. I had, I think, like a Nissa and like 2 tokens or something. And he had Nissa, 2 tokens, and a Glorybringer, maybe, that was already exerted. And he had like a bunch of like little dorky dudes or whatever, and he attacked me for 6, and I was cracking him back and killing a guy, and it was really awkward. Activity in my hand, and so like I did a bunch of these weird plays, right, to like get a couple of tokens saved up, and exerted my dragon to like make it where I win the race. So then I creativity for 4 and attacked him from like 20 or whatever, because he had gained some life somehow, I guess. I attacked him from 20 to 2. And he's like, oh, and he just looked at me like this was the most unfair thing that ever happened to him in his entire life. And he's like, my turn? I'm like, yeah, go for it, bro. And like I said, I was, I think, at 9 or something maybe. And the most he could do to me, according to my math, was 6. So I'm like, yeah, go for it. And he untaps all his stuff and looks at the board looks at his hand, looks at the board again, looks at his hand, goes, okay, I don't think there's any way I can win. Scoops his cards up.
But then that was it.
Yeah. So, like, it set the tone for the tournament for me, which we'll get to a little bit later. But yeah, Indomitable Creativity did a ton of work for me over the weekend. It was there were times where it was definitely the best card in my deck. Like there are times when I needed to play it for one just to get a threat or to try to get something. Like there was a moment playing against our friend Hunter, who was on the what's that in the cycle deck? He was on the cycle deck, whatever that's called.
New Perspectives?
Yeah, New Perspectives. And I was playing my hand in such a way that I had double creativity, and I had sideboarded in Thought Seers. And I was playing 2 creativity to hopefully hit a Thought Knot before he could combo. But then I ended up drawing a Thought Knot and just played it, so it still worked out. But like I said, it did so much work for me all weekend long. Great card. Could not recommend it more highly right now. How about Padim, son?
So
what is he doing for you right now?
He's having some fun. So I put him in my sideboard of the Metalwork Colossus deck, just for decks that I know have a lot of spot removal. And I happened to play against a dude who was playing a black-white control list, who, I mean, basically just won with Kalidas and Heart of Kuran and the Manland. You know,
sure.
Basic control, and he normally does really, really well with that deck just because it's so difficult to get rid of. So game 2, I brought in 2 Padims, and he was playing, and then I played both of them, or I played one of them on turn 4, and then I played 2 Metalwork Colossi with a Metallic Rebuke still in hand. So his turn 5, he goes to kill my Padim, so I make him pay 3 more mana for it with the counter spell, and he's just like, or no, it's his turn 6 or something. I can't remember how much it was. Maybe it was turn 5 that I played it. Either way,
it's fine.
Yeah, either way. So he was basically paying all of his mana to kill my Padim, and then he was just like, well, I can't win against this. I guess we just go to game 3. And I'm like, nah, dude, I won game 1. We're done. He goes, oh hell, that's right, we are, because he's yeah. So I actually brought him in against 3 different players this past week, and every single time he was just like, all right, now you basically gotta kill this chump.
Kill this first.
Yeah.
Did he ever draw you any cards?
Oh yeah, he drew me quite a bit because people are like, because I always tried to protect him too.
Right.
Because, I mean, let's face it, he's going to stop everything once nothing can happen.
I saw a tweet from you against Olive, or 2 Olive or something. He had posted his version of the Fling deck, and you made some comment about yours being better or more fun or something.
Both.
And I know that if I think, after seeing your deck in action, if I had a big tournament coming up like this week or something that not big, but like a PPTQ or something like that, not necessarily a GP. I don't know if I'd want to try to take your deck to a GP right now.
I would.
Sure, you've practiced with it for like a month. I have not practiced with it for a month. That's part of the reason why I did an audible to a different deck at the last moment for the PPTQs. Because I spent the last month and a half, 2 months or whatever, working on the creativity deck. And I would try that Fling deck of yours because it seems like it attacks the metagame from a different angle that a lot of the decks are not ready for. And I think that's what a lot of our playtesting group right now is focusing on trying to do, is trying to attack from a different angle. And because it seems like it's Teamer Energy or some other creature-based deck or Delirium. And we have something that just nobody's ready to expect. Like, oh, here's 2 Metalwork Colossus on turn 4. And it's like, what?
Yep.
Oh, here, I'll fling them both at you. Or I'll fling this one at you twice, or however. You know, it's just it's from a place that people are not ready for, I think. And I would give it a shot. And Padim, you know, protecting your guys, drawing your cards, seems good.
Well, he protects the Colossus, plus he protects the puzzle knots and the prisms, which, you know, I need that mana fix considering I'm playing 4 different colors.
Right. Something else I was playing with this week, and I'm probably going to try to have something a little bit more refined for the next show. But I experimented a little bit with the blue artifact control, splashing white for the win game card, the Second Sons, whatever it is, approach the Second Sons.
Yeah.
It never worked as half as good in testing at home as it did at the shop. It felt very good. I don't think the cards are right and the right ratios and the right numbers or whatever, but if you ever take 2 blues or tap 2 blue and 3 clues to counter their spell and make 4 clues, it is just absolutely to die for. I'm very excited to fiddle with this some more too, especially for the next set, because I think that people are going to instinctively start moving into like some sort of Grixis control. So whoever has the best control typically wins that. And I think with something like the approach has a win condition, just like boom, boom, could be very, very tidy. So look forward to that hopefully next week or two. I'll try sending Travis a couple of lists over the week. Let's see if we can't find something a little bit more refined for you guys. So anyway, what else is going on there before we get into some of these talking points, Travis?
Oh, right.
Coming up?
Pre-release?
Oh yeah, pre-release is right around the corner. The arena calendar is a little bit messed up right now. I've been trying to work on it as I have spare time, but I keep putting it off. I'll have to, this week for sure, probably tonight, I'll have to stay up late and get it fixed. I'm not 100% sure exactly when it is. I just know it's next month, right? Like the 7th, maybe?
Sure.
The 9th? Probably the 9th.
8th? It's next Saturday.
Okay. That's good.
So anyways, we were me and some buddies were playing Magic on Tuesday. And this guy, he came in and he brought in 4 beta demonic ritual? Diabolic tutor. Demonic tutor, the one that costs 2 mana.
Demonic tutor.
Yeah, so he brought in 4 of those that were from beta. And he came in, he's like, "Hey guys, I just want to, check this out. I just bought these online for $250." And we're just like, "Wait, what do you mean you bought them for only $250?" He's like, "Yeah, the guy said that he just had them sitting around forever and he just wanted to get rid of them. So he said that he would, sell them for $250, and it was on one of the groups, or like one of the Magic groups or whatever." Yeah. And so we're like, okay, let's see them. Because, once he said 250 and beta, especially the tutor, we were just like, nah, something's off here. Um, so we looked at them, and they were in like almost perfect condition. And that was a loud phone. Uh,
Sorry.
so they were in perfect condition, and we were just like, this this doesn't seem right to us. So we got out our phone and we did the LED test on the back of the card, or like through the cards. And then one of the guys that was there, he was like, I've bought shady cards before, so let me run to my house really quick and get a magnifying glass and just kit to like look at it closely or whatever. So he actually comes back with a jeweler's magnifying glass. I think that's
Sure.
yeah.
A
And
jeweler's loop.
a what?
A jeweler's loop.
Yeah, that's what it was. So he comes back with that, and they start, he starts like inspecting it and everything. And then I was like, well, hold on, let me see the side of the card, because you can tell the difference based on the thickness and the overall quality based off the side if you can't get a close enough detail on the actual ink itself. But so we took them out of the sleeves and we were inspecting them and everything, and the light didn't add up, the printing didn't add up, the water prints on it didn't look the same as like another beta card that he actually had in the shop. And the thickness of the cards, if you got the right angle on the magnifying glass, it actually looked like it was just two cards pushed together. So I mean, dude kind of got ripped off, but he's taken it back to the guy, and all of the information is on, he does have it all saved, the communication and everything. So he's
Sure.
basically going back, it's like, I want this money back, or I'm taking these small claims for the money back itself.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I have a hard time buying cards before I picked it up, touched it, licked it, smelled it,
Right.
did all the things. I do know that there are a lot of good sellers and a lot of shady sellers, and that's where you get those people who are giving you props or whatever, or I don't know. I just, so a friend of ours, Bruce, recently asked me for a reference. There you go, referral. And I'm like, have I ever successfully bought anything from Bruce? Like ever, even one time? I know that I've tried to buy stuff from Bruce once before. I tried buying just some like revised lightning bolts because I didn't have any lightning bolts after when I was first trying to put my collection back together from the first time I sold all my magic. And he wanted like $6 a piece for lightning bolts. And I'm like, yeah, that's like like at the time they're like $1.50.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that's gonna fly, bro. He's like, all right, then that's what I'm selling them for. And then a couple years later, after we a little bit more friendly or whatever, I brought that story up to him. And he's like, oh, damn, I don't even remember that. I just must not have wanted to sell to you. And I'm like, well, that would have been a lot, because that colored my opinion of him for years, right? It was just like wanting 5 times the value of his magic cards, which is fine. I respect that, but when he's like, oh, I must not have just wanted to sell to you that day, and I figured it better make it really worth my while to get him. Like, okay, whatever. So like, I'll give a personal reference, but I don't give magic references for Bruce. Like now that I've gotten to know him a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember ever buying a magic card from him. Now, like another friend of ours, Shawn, I bought cards from Shawn, and it's always been on time, prompt, the best condition that I could possibly imagine. And I'll just send him a Facebook message if I need to and be like, hey, do you have this card in this from this set or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He almost always knows, like, right away. And those are the kind of people that personal recommendations are very important when it comes to buying and selling on Facebook. And that's why, like I said, he'll ask me for references all the time. I get references from people for him constantly. He's never did me wrong. He's always done real good. So get those references, I guess, is if you're going to be buying on like Facebook groups or stuff like that, because those are important. And make sure they're people that you can trust too, not just like, hey, Travis, I'm going to sell this card to this sucker. Tell him I'm a good I'm a good guy when it comes to Magic stuff.
Yeah, nobody would come to me for that because they know I'll just throw them under the boat.
Under the boat?
Yeah.
Not even a bus. Not even a bus. You got to drive to the harbor.
Yeah.
Find a boat that's running.
And just keel haul them.
Oh, boy.
Pirates, man.
I've only... Pirates. I have a poster for you now, probably. Maybe. Tanya, we went to the Nerd Con that was here in town. Comic Con, like little baby Comic Con.
Yeah.
And we won a Pirates of the Caribbean movie poster.
Nice.
That was like from the AMC theater or something. It's like the double-sided actual movie theater poster, which I thought was really exciting until my wife told me, yeah, they told me we could have a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 one. And then I got really excited, and then they're like, oh, I'm guessing we're out. So you can have this one instead.
Ah!
You bastards.
I mean, I'm sorry.
So I've only got a couple of little talking points here. First of all, out of the 8 people in our local PPTQ last weekend, 3 of them were locals, which was actually really cool. There's been a lot of PPTQs in a row here held at the arena where we didn't have 3 locals show up to the event.
Yeah.
Weren't judging or whatever. Local turnout has just been real spotty lately. So then having people show up and then those people just do really well, I thought was pretty cool. An out-of-towner ended up winning the tournament. I forget who now. Not anybody I know personally, so it's cool. But I don't know. I felt like it was my tournament to lose. I felt like I basically couldn't be beat. And then there's actually a play here that I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
So I'm setting up for a creativity.
Okay.
I play a dragon from my hand and attack, kill some creature, right? My opponent untaps with 5 mana. I think I'm at 16. Like, it's a good time to dragon. I think I have a Nissa on 4. Like, to me, it felt like the time to dragon if you had a dragon. Instead, he plays a Tireless Tracker and a 6th land. So in my mind, I go, okay, no dragon. This game is wide open, right? Like I'm gonna crush him. I'm gonna plus Nissa. I'm going to use this Warping Whale to make a 1/1 end of his turn, and I'm gonna like make 3 tokens with I'm gonna make 3 dudes with the Indomitability, and I'm just gonna take this game over, right? So I make my play, I make my attack. I attack for I don't know. I put my opponent from 16 to 2. I didn't have great flips, and I exert 1 dragon, so I'd have 2 dragons to attack. I think I had what did I possibly have? Maybe it was for 3 and I minus Nissa once. I don't know. But basically, I know I had 2 dragons and at least 1 Reality Smasher, right? And I exerted 1 dragon to kill a creature, but I didn't exert 2 because he could crack, double clue or something.
Yeah.
Some way, shape, or form, he could clue out of a single dragon range, and I wanted to be able to attack with both or at least 1 dragon next turn, because he he had another ground guy, right? So basically, I put myself in a position where if he had dragon, I was going to lose. But if he didn't have dragon, I pretty much couldn't lose at that point. And he drops dragon and attacks me and kills me. And I'm like, why? I don't understand. So then after the game, we were talking because I had a lot of different lines throughout the play. And we kind of talked about it a little bit. He's like, yeah, that turn that I played the tracker, I also could have played the dragon. And I'm like, yeah, I specifically, because you didn't play the dragon, I assume you didn't have it. So you would have had to top deck it. And he's like, no, I had it in my hand. I was just on the fence on which was better, and I ended up going with the tracker for the extra card. And then you, like, put me in a position where I had to win the next turn or I was dead. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so I'm really glad I had the dragon in reserves. Because I just sat there and I was just like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It got him. It got him up there. He immediately died to zombies, though, which zombies is a real good matchup for me. So,
right.
I don't know. I was a little perturbed at the time, but, you know, sometimes your opponent just mistake, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I was giving him more credit than I should have, or maybe I overthought it. I don't know. It was weird. Then let's see. We have Camel was beaten up by a wizard. Did you see this, Travis?
No.
I figured this would be right up your alley. So what was the 04 Camel for 1 white mana, like out of the previous set? Do you remember? Like you were all high on camels for a long time.
Tassel Dromedary.
There you go. That one. Well, they have printed God Pharaoh's Faithful in this new set. 1 mana 04 human wizard. Whenever you cast a blue, black, or red spell, you gain a life. Also a common. 100% upgrade. You lose a shitty type, you gain 2 good types and a worthwhile ability if you're splashing any color.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to the spoilers.
I only looked for this show. That's the only reason I've looked.
Oh, yeah. I haven't looked at all because I like to put myself on the back pedal if I actually do get to play a pre-release. So
Pre-release?
Yeah, so after like 100 cards, I'm just like, whatever. I'll just figure the rest out when I open it.
I know. I have 2 other ones here that I kind of want to talk about, mostly because I got a lot of flack for not. So when we recorded the show, the next card was not spoiled.
Okay.
So people jumped my ass for not talking about this card on the last show.
What was it?
And I'm like, Torment of Hellfire.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Well, let me tell you real quick. It is black, and X for sorcery. Repeat the following process X times.
Mm-hmm.
Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card.
Okay.
So for 3 mana, they lose 3 life or sacrifice a non-land permanent or discards a card.
3 times.
For 4, no, 1 time.
Oh yeah, 3.
Black.
Yeah. So when I see X spells, I immediately get rid of the 2 mana, like 1, 2, 3, 4 mana that's already necessary.
That's fine. However you have to think of it. So 1 X mana, that's 1. 2 X mana, 2. So people are going insane. They're like, talk about your ramp strategies now. And I'm like, is this really? It doesn't just win the game for you, right?
Unless you board wipe the same turn.
Sure. But my question is, like, how big does that X have to be to just, like, win? Like, yeah, you can get really far ahead.
That X has to be at least... Okay, so let's just, say in the realm that you ramp up to 8 lands.
Okay.
Let's make it 11 lands. Okay.
We're up to 11 lands. Okay.
Yeah, up to 11.
So you can cast a spell for 9.
Right. Or you board wipe first with that 3-mana wrath from what's his face,
So that
Bontu's
kills,
wrath or something.
Is it all non-land permanents, or is it just all creatures? Do you remember?
I can't remember. That's too far ago.
Okay.
So
I'll look at it while you're talking.
yeah, so like you kill all your stuff. You know, granted you're gonna be stuck on, you know, not untapping for 1 turn or whatever.
Destroy all creatures.
Okay. So if they still have other things, then sure, whatever. But that's kind of irrelevant at the time, because after you destroy everything, you play the spell for 7 or 6.
No, it would be 6.
Yeah, okay. And at this point in the game, you know, it's already late. So if their hand is, you know, if they're already somewhat top decking, or if they only have creatures, then it's basically like, all right.
All the creatures will be dead, right?
Right.
So it's just whatever's left over. So any clues, any vehicles, any
planeswalkers, or just random artifacts.
Yeah. So like it could be a bunch. Like it could do a lot of damage. I don't know if this is the end all be all card that people are excited for. They're talking about how much they love this card, and like one guy told me that he's going to go insane for mono black Eldrazi now. Or not Eldrazi, Tron, sorry, mono black Tron. And I'm like, how is this not better, or how is this better than the Black Command? Right? Isn't the Black Command just like better? It like kills a creature.
Two, right?
Drains them out. Yeah, you choose 2. You can drain them out. You can like give a thing -X/-X. You can like, I think regrow something to play or something. I don't know. I have to look up the Black Command. But I was just like, isn't the Black Command better? And they're like, shut up with your logic.
How dare you say the right thing?
I know. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's going to be a fun card, but at the same time, I think if you just sitting there with a pile of clues, you're just like, yeah, I got 12 clues. Bring it on.
Right.
I'll just sacrifice these clue tokens for days. Whatever.
But in Magical Christmas Land, it works all the time, and that's all that's important.
I guess so. All I know is I had 32 clues the other day in testing, and my opponent told me I was stupid and he didn't want to play Magic anymore.
Well, you know what that means.
I was stupid, and I had to switch decks.
No, it means that you win.
Oh, okay, sweet.
If you can ever salt anyone out, that means you win.
So I have another question for you, Travis. It was a spoiler that I don't think you've seen, probably. So I think this is going to be good. How much mana would you pay for a 5/5 creature that has Vigilance, Reach, and Trample?
I'll
give you a hint. It's green.
Probably. Okay, so it's green. So if it's green, then it's going to be like 9. So I'm going to say 7.
What if I told you the answer was 4?
What's the downside?
So it gets +1/+1 as long as you control a desert, and it gets +1/+1 as long as there's a desert in your graveyard. So otherwise, it is a 3/3.
Oh, okay. Well, then start off with that.
No. It's 5/5 Magical Christmas Lands, bro. We're playing the desert deck. We're going to use our Run-a-Nap, Room-a-Nap, Ram-u-Nap. God, that's a mouthful of words. The Hydra. It's a snake Hydra.
Okay. So what you're saying is Joe already built the deck for it then.
Probably. And he's probably like mono deserts and discarding deserts and like randomly throwing deserts against the wall.
Yep.
I don't know.
As long as something sticks.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, is this are creepy to me. Like I got the other Hydra, the Embalm, for like less. That seemed really fun and really good, and I've used it a lot. But this one feels odd to me. It feels super easy to make this into a 5/5 for 4 with 3 relevant abilities. So, I don't know. Maybe that's the idea. They're like, if you're willing to put deserts in your deck, we're willing to make them really good.
I just hope that they reprint Camel.
They should print it in this set. They should reprint Camel. I'm looking right now for you.
So it is a 0/1 with banding.
Right.
And when it attacks, it has protection from deserts.
Well, I'm looking to see if there's a camel in here, but I don't see it. Sorry, buddy. No camel.
Wow, thanks, Wizards. You failed me for no reason.
Once again. So here's just one more card as like a bonus, because I saw you make some comments on this card on your Facebook group. Crested
The horse?
Sunmare? Yeah, this card seems really bad to me.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be better if it was a cat horse.
A cat horse?
Don't laugh at that. There's a cat snake, like a cat lizard, just an overall cat. So
no, I'm done.
Why can't there be a cat horse?
Over. This conversation's over. There's no cat horse bad.
Just imagine it. Like,
no,
it looks like
not doing it.
It looks like a what's those striped cats? Zebras. It looks like a zebra with a cat face.
Over. This conversation has committed suicide. All right. So first of all, thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Of course, you can check out this and all past versions or episodes of the podcast at our website, samusgrobo.com. You can check out the live recording of this podcast at youtube.com/samusgrobo. You can follow us on Twitter. I am Samus Grobo. He is TurtlePower319. His handle this week is currently, is it Mean Santa?
Yeah.
Is it because they told you were pudgy when you came to visit?
No, it's because that's what the people that I work with decided to nickname me.
Is it because the people at your work are mean and decided you were pudgy?
No, it's because I'm mean and I know I'm fat. Know how fat I was.
Anyway, you can also check us out at twitch.tv/SamusGrobo. I've been playing Magic Duels conveniently because they're closing the servers down. They're shutting the servers down for Magic Duels, so I had to get in. Why the getting was good, right? No fun for me. Anyway, I'm having a good time with it. It's been a lot of fun. Also, like I said, you can send us an email to number 2 trollsbrew@gmail.com, like Nathan did with this blue-black control list that I think is slightly inspired by some shenanigans you may have done. So it is hard for me to tell because I think he does this stuff on his phone and screen captures it, and it's hard to kind of see. But looks like it's running dual lands, basic lands, Aether Hubs, etc. 2 Fatal Push, 2 Clog Workers Puzzle Knot, which is the white one, but it makes 2 dudes, or 2 artifacts, so I think that's why he's playing it. 3 Torment of Hellfire, Hour of Glory, exile target creature. If that creature was a god, then opponent reveals his or her hand and exiles all cards from them with the same name as that creature. Prisms, Woodworker's Puzzle Knot, Remorseless Punishment, Black Puzzle Knot, 2 Negate, 2 Pulls, Inspiring Statuary, Cruel Reality, 2 Void Scatter, 2 Metallic Rebook, and 4 mana Tezzerets. So what are you thinking, Big Daddy? How sexy is this list in your mind?
Um, minus the 4 cards that I don't know what they are. I rather enjoy it.
What 4
Also,
cards do you not know?
you see that the row with the fatal push and the cogworker's puzzle knot
Yeah.
right next to it.
Those are the torment of hellfire that we just talked about.
Oh, the bad command.
Yes, the bad command.
Okay,
And then Hour of Glory, I just read. It's a 4-mana exile target. God, get rid of all of them.
I was texting someone. So yeah, those things are right.
Shows today.
Yeah. I would take out Void Shatter for 1 more Metallic Rebuke and 1 more Negate.
Okay. There.
I don't like things that cost 2 blue.
Okay. He does have a lot of blue mana access. He's got 1, 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18 sources of blue.
Doesn't mean I like it.
Okay. That's plus prison.
Also, you could put in the bicycle lands.
Those are the what you're calling the fetch ones? No, the cycle ones.
Yeah, the bicycle.
Okay. All right, I got you. The cycle lands.
2-color bicycle.
Yeah, you could. I think the idea is that he's trying to keep as many coming to play untapped lands as possible.
Well, he's gonna have to not worry about that once the new set or once this rotates.
Well, I think this is just for the next month and a half, 2 months.
You know what you could do, Nathan, and I highly suggest it because I like awful things. Instead of those 4 cards from the new set and the remorseless,
I have no idea what you said.
I said instead of those 4 cards from the new set and the remorseless punishment and that 7-mana curse that's too expensive and 1 of the Tezzerets. So take out those 7 things. Put in 4 Metalwork Colossus and 3 Flings.
Lasai. So I don't think this deck is terrible.
I enjoy it.
I think that this deck wants some number of Battle at the Bridge. I think that's a really good card.
Oh, I love Battle at the Bridge. I bring it in. Honestly, I'm thinking about mainboarding it because I bring it in so much.
Yeah, I think Battle at the Bridge would be really strong. And I also think that, like in my own play testing, I feel like the Inspiring Statuaries are too much. And I really kind of just want 2 and like 1 way to tutor an artifact, like Whirl of Invention. So I almost wonder if you want 2 Statuaries and 2 Whirl of Inventions instead. But I'm not for sure. Anyway, thank you for sending in your deck list. And unfortunately, I think that's it, Travis. I didn't plan a game. You were busy like brushing yourself from your post-shower bliss. He's showing off his beard hair here. Also, I have to say it's a very lovely shade of wife beater today instead of your classic white.
Right. They're comfortable. They're comfortable. I'm trashy.
Wife beater. Never thought that about a wife beater my whole life.
Really?
Every time I've worn it, I guess I must have 2 sensitive nipples.
Oh, see, I like them rubbing up against my nipples.
Yeah, I don't like that. I just chaff.
I like being chaffed.
Well, that's probably more personal information than anyone else wanted to hear. Toodles, everybody.
Well, that's what they get. Troll on, everybody. Chafe nipples.
You get chafe nipples.